Ladies and gentlemen, I've done several articles on retail stores closing. Well, a lot of these restaurant chains are also closing in big numbers coming in 2020. Last call, restaurant chains closing locations by 2020. And a lot of these chains you have heard of, very popular. So Joe's Crab Shack, the last few years haven't been kind to some of the highest contributors in the restaurant industry. More and more people are favoring family owned indie restaurants for their meals, and less are choosing to cash in on the already wealthy chains that span across America. They won't be wealthy for long, however, because a lot of chains have had to shut up shop in some of their many locations due to a decrease in loyalty dinners. Here are 29 chains that are closing locations before the year is out. So Joe's Crab Shack. Next one is IHOP. IHOP has been an American staple for pancakes, waffles, and other kinds of breakfast foods since it was first opened in 1958. However, the chain has been on a decline thanks to the increase in more health-aware Americans. Even the restaurant's crack at adding more items to its menu couldn't save it. In 2018, IHOP briefly changed its name to IHOB, as in the International House of Burgers, because it added 10 burgers to its menu. It did them no favors, and the chain is planning to closing 30 to 40 stores by the end of this year. Luby's, which we don't have any of these in my area. Luby's used to be a Texan staple, but it looks like the people of Texas are losing their appetites when it comes to deep fried, fat fried everything. Wow, so they sell a lot of fried foods, huh? There used to be a Luby's on every corner in the southern state, kind of like Starbucks in California. Luby's sales have been on a steady decline over the last few years, and 2019 has been no different for the Texan chain. Already this year, 4 of the 84 location the chain kicked off in 2019 have been shut down. Okay. Fridays, TGI Fridays. I have one of these around me. Despite the number of menu changes, TGI Friday just isn't down with the kids like it used to be. The restaurant opened its doors back in 1965 and quickly became a must-visit location for birthday parties, dates, casual hangouts, you name it. The chain was intended to be a singles bar when it first opened before it became kid central. TGIs have been making some changes to get back to their roots, but it looks like it's too late, as 5 restaurants have already closed this year so far. Taco Bell. We thought Taco Bell would remain untouched forever, but we guess we were wrong. The restaurant has had one of the most affordable menus when compared to its competitors for years now. But despite this, fewer and fewer people are choosing to chow down on the chain's Mexican goodness. So far this year, Taco Bell has closed a half a dozen of its hundreds of locations, which may not seem like a lot, but it's just the beginning. Taco Bell have done their best to combat the decline in sales, even opening a pop-up hotel in Cali, still, it doesn't look good. McCormick and Shumick, seafood and steak. See, we don't have this near me, so I'm not really familiar with this one. Okay, McCormick and Shumick restaurant and steak restaurant, seafood and steak restaurant were bought by the same guys who own Bubba Gump Shrimp Company in 2016. And ever since, things haven't been looking good for the restaurant chain. When the company was purchased by Bubba Gump, McCormick and Shumick had 85 locations across America. Now it only has 36. Wow, that went down a lot. That's a downgrade if we ever saw one. In 2019 alone, there have been 6 closures in cities, including St. Louis, Denver, and Providence, Rhode Island. It doesn't look like it'll be long before M&S throws in the towel altogether. Papa John's. Well, yeah, Papa John's. I don't even know how the one around me is staying open. There are so many people that stop going there. It's not even funny. Papa John's has more complicated reasons for its decline in sale over the last few years. Let us tell you why. The former CEO of the pizza company was not the greatest of guys. In 2018, a Forbes article outed the businessman named John Snatter for using the N-word while he was on a conference call. Because of this, he had to give up his CEO position, then ultimately his role as a chairman. This, along with rumors of an awful company culture where sexual harassment was common, has led to a number of Papa John's store closures this year. Chipotle. I think there was one around here, but we never had this chain, like a lot of them in my state, like you might have seen in other states. We feel like everyone is obsessed with Chipotle these days, but their sales kind of says otherwise. The chain only opened in 1993, so you'd think it would still be relatively successful. However, due to some party intense health concerns that some customers had, fewer and fewer people have been flocking to Chipotle for their Mexican food fix. Because of this, Chipotle has put a program in place, an attempt to bring back customers, including a loyalty system. Still up to 65 stores are due to close in 2020, and there are still some yet to close in 2019. Subway. Back in the early 2000s, when Subway first opened, lots of people considered it to be a healthy fast food alternative thanks to the chain's Eat Fresh campaign. These days, however, we know more about what's actually good for us to be putting into our bodies, and unfortunately, Subway isn't it. Last year, at least 1,100 Subway stores shut down across America. The chain's website shows that they have more than 24,000 stores open in the US alone, but it's predicted that at least the same number of locations as last year, if not more, will close in 2019. Well, 2019 is almost gone. Applebee's has been around since the early 80s, so it's no surprise they're a little behind when it comes to food trends. They're nearly 40. After all, the chain has attempted to target the younger generation by introducing an app and online ordering service and delivery. They've also tried to introduce some healthier menu options for the millennials to enjoy. Still in 2018, 90 Applebee's restaurants closed, and they plan to cut another 20 before 2019 is out. Jack in the Box. Man, our Jack in the Box, I think, left in the 70s, 70s or 80s. It might have been the early 80s when they left. Let's be honest, Jack in the Box has never been as popular as its competitors ever since it opened in 1951. Kids all over America still chose McDonald's over poor Jack, and it's no different today. The company that owns Jack in the Box also owned Mexican joint Qdoba until they sold it in 2018. Ever since then, the burger chain has lost more and more business and has to close some of its locations as a result. The company predicts that it will have to close 14 stores this year alone. Wow. The only thing I used to like about them was their shakes. They had the thickest milkshakes. Other than that, the food, the milkshakes were better. Red Robin. Back in the day, families would often choose to eat fast food while in the mall with their kids on shopping trips. This is why a lot of establishments wanted to nab a spot in the mall food court. Red Robin's had that idea when it opened over 50 years ago, but it looks like the idea has backfired on them in 2019. 10 Red Robin restaurants have closed so far this year, 7 of which were located in shopping malls, and it looks like Red Robins won't be flying so high much longer. Yeah, because the malls are closing very quickly around this country. Ruby Tuesdays. Yeah, we had one around us, and that place, man, it's gone. Casual dining spot, Ruby Tuesdays, has been loved by Americans since it was first established in 1972. Unlike most of the chains on the list, Ruby Tuesdays was ahead of its time with the healthy food buzz and is known for its great salad bar. Still Salad couldn't save the chain, and a whopping 26 of its establishments have closed down so far as this year. That's on top of the 51 locations that called it quits in 2018. Some of the locations that have lost Ruby Tuesday so far this year include New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Steak and Shake. We had one, but not real close to where I am. Okay, so Steak and Shake, they were forced to close shops before 2020. The Indiana-based chain was known for its affordable meat options and thick milkshakes. Okay, so look like all right, so Indiana have been carving this year as 106 locations of the eatery has already closed. Wow. Yeah, well, it really wasn't that many. I think there's only one I can think of around here. Burger King. Yeah. Along with McDonald's, Burger King is one of the biggest names in the fast food industry. Still, even the home of the Whopper can't escape closures this year. In fact, Burger King has closed at least 100 of its restaurants over the last few years. 2019 is about to take the cake. It's predicted that the establishment will turn the lights out in 250 of its restaurants before the year is out. The chain is expected to make its big competitors and bring in new ordering technology to keep whatever customers it has left. Pizza Hut, yeah. There's been a few that closed around me. Used to be the place for birthday parties, dates, you name it. But unfortunately, people are happier spending their money on authentic Italian food rather than greasy, good ones in Pizza Hut. All right, so the restaurant did close up because I know the one around me closed. As they transition from restaurant to fast food, 450 Pizza Hut locations will close before 2020. Carl's Jr., originally, yeah, they've been around for a long time. 1945. Carl Jr. is another fast food joint that couldn't hold the weight of the healthy food movement. In 2017, a lawsuit was filed against the chain's former CEO, Jason Marker, for allegedly discriminating against older employees. Its parent company shut down its headquarters in Anaheim in 2018, and since then, things have gone from bad to worse. Each of these factors have led to multiple locations being shut down, with more to come by the end of 2020. Old Charlie's. I'm not real familiar with this one. All right, so they opened in 1971 in Tennessee and look like they have not done well. They were big on their Southern fried fixin'. Okay. So look like they're going to be closing 6 locations, including the one in theme parks in Orlando. And over the summer, a further 8 restaurants shut up shop. Quiznos. Yeah, we had one, but that one's gone. So Quiznos is another one. I'm not going to read through all of these. Boston Market, which was established in 1985, shutting 45 of their 450 locations. Friendlies. I remember going there back in the day. They were established in 1935. Known for their ice cream. Yeah, they sure were. The one around me probably left in the early 2000s, I believe, like early 2000s. And they're talking about closing 23 more location. Kona Grill, which is an Asian cuisine, and they opened in 1998, and they had falling sales, and 19 locations will be closing. Marie Calendar, which I didn't even know was a restaurant. Ooh, man. Yeah, I recognize it in the grocery stores, but I had no idea it was a restaurant. All right, so they're closing 24 of their 50 locations, definitely in other parts of the country. Fuddruckers, another one that I never seen around here. So it looked like they're closing their doors. 49 are still open. There were at one time 150. Perkins. Yeah, we had Perkins. Opened in the 1950s, and they've gone through a bankruptcy in 2011, and they filed bankruptcy again this year. Already 10 more of its locations have closed their doors. Starbucks, yeah, Starbucks, I've seen many of them close. So they plan on closing 150 of their locations. Noodle Company opened in 1995. And, all right, so look like they're in debt. All right, so they're closing their doors. And Joe's Crab Shack, which we did not have. So I did not know a lot about this. So they still got 58. They closed 41 locations, still have 58 currently open after filing bankruptcy. Town Home Buffet, Um, it looks like they've closed locations. They filed bankruptcy 3 times. Wow. And they closed some of their locations and closing another 92. That's a lot. But y'all, please tell me what you think. There's a lot of things falling in America. I know the retail stores, that was a big thing, but now you got all of these restaurants closing a lot of their locations around the country. Ooh, mm-mm-mm. And they're already saying the retail stores, there's going to be even more closing in 2020. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.